is the Hazel Bar. So just the table of contents, we've all seen this, just what we're going to go over. Just a quick product overview. Essentially what the Hazel Bar is going to be is a healthy alternative to traditional candy bars that does not sacrifice on taste, texture, or experience of eating a chocolate bar. As you can see, it's going to be free of dairy and animal products, higher in protein than typical candy bars, low to no added sugars, and just as a little side note down the bottom there, the idea is to start with some sort of core bar, but it can obviously be branched off into more specific products, like performance bars, like calorie bars. They're the two examples I put there. Just as a quick explanation. Why is it called Hazel Bar, and why do we use hazelnuts? Well, the first point is it works extremely well with chocolate. Anyone that's eaten Nutella can attest to that. But also it's very high in fibre, folate, phosphorus and zinc, all which tend to be lacking in a traditional American diet. So it's nutritious, has a need in the country, and obviously tastes great. If you like Nutella, you'll know. The business structure is going to be a limited liability company. This is key, and why I wanted to include this in here is because basically with any sort of food-related business, you do want to make sure that you're not personally liable for anything, because as much as I hope it wouldn't happen, it's very plausible that something could go wrong in manufacturing, and that's something that people are consuming. If someone gets sick or something was that to happen, you do not want to be personally liable for that. So that's a key point for why it's really limited liability. So the key partners, first of all, would be suppliers. So these are needed for the raw ingredients to make the bar. I've used, for example, cocoa powder, cocoa butter, protein powder, additional flavorings, all that sort of stuff, as well as packaging needs. For small scale production, which is how it's going to start, because it's just going to be me making the bars. Like I said, the most feasible place to obtain them would be through mainstream outlets, Walmart, Amazon. However, as production were to grow and I'd start building more inventory at once, it'd be more beneficial to work with wholesalers, buy in bulk. And as the product and brand grows, we want to partner with major retail outlets and distributors as well. And one thing I forgot to mention on the PowerPoint here as well would be, as production grows, working with logistics partners as well to help with the shipping and distribution of the product. So the key activities, of course, first would be production, getting the actual raw ingredients and turning them into a candy bar. Right now, that'll just be me. I have a little bit of experience trying to make plant-based candy bars, so that's sort of where the idea stems from. But of course, as production grows, it wouldn't just be me, and we would have to look to renting a manufacturing facility and using some division of labour there. The second point, licensing and copywriting, arguably the most important as well. Basically, it would be very important to protect the product through patents, copyrights, the brand, as well as being able to license and be actually a licensed seller of food, because you can imagine there's a lot of prerequisites and stuff like that you have to meet to be able to be a seller of food, as well as advertising and marketing. To begin, it will be online advertising and word of mouth, and I'll touch on that in the next slide, and selling. So primarily through an online store to begin with, but as businesses grow, again, look to work with major retailers and distributors. So this is the value proposition. Basically, it is to provide a plant-based candy bar that doesn't sacrifice on taste, quality, and texture, like I said before. This really does bring something new to the table. Not in the way that there isn't already plant-based candy bars, but a lot of them, their taste is just very, very ordinary, to say the least. And I just sort of found that with plant-based alternatives, there's always something that gives, whether it be taste, texture, nutrition. There's always something that gives. So I'd like to bring something to the market that sort of bridges the gap between comfort food and healthy food. So moving on. Customer relationships. Very important that we establish long-term relationships with our customers, because for a candy bar, it needs to be a high frequency of recurring purchases to be feasible. It's not like a service where you can contract out, or maybe people buy it once and then they don't need to buy it again. No, realistically, we want people to keep coming back and keep buying the bar, and that's why I made the point at the bottom here. Make the brand an individual's favourite. So, for example, when people are hungry, they might turn to a Snickers bar, a Mars bar. Why not turn to a Hazel Bar? The customer segment, the niche market will be health and wellness, and I want to make the point that I originally had it say health and fitness, but I changed it to wellness because I really do feel that right now, particularly going on with COVID, a lot more people are more health conscious, and I feel like this particular product is tailored towards them as well. So not necessarily fitness in general, that people that go to the gym, people that work out, just people that are health conscious, and that's why I made that point in the middle there. Just adding value to comfort food into the plans of health conscious individuals. But some ideal customers would of course be athletes, health conscious people, as well as people within the plant-based community. There is people amongst the plant-based community that aren't necessarily the healthiest, but if it tastes good, they'll buy it regardless of the nutritional benefits of it. Some channels that we look to work through would be, to begin with, online advertising and word of mouth. I made 3 points there. Low barrier to entry. Of course, I can tell anyone about it, but in particular, online advertising, as someone who has a little bit of experience with it, it's very, very low barrier to entry. Literally anyone can advertise on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, as Devin mentioned. All these sort of Google AdWords, they're very, very easy and very scalable to what I need and what the company needs. So if an ad's performing well, it's very simple to scale it up. And it's easier to build your reputation and obtain case studies, testimonials when you work with people that you know as well. To deliver the actual product, it would just be through mainstream postal services initially, or if it's close enough here, I could deliver them. But as the business grows, it's worth investing in a logistics partner to help streamline that process. As well as establish points of communication for retargeting, upselling, customer supports. This would be through a website, obtaining emails, phone numbers, all that sort of thing. So this would be like a broad advertising strategy that I mentioned on before. So like, for example, you guys use social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all that sort of thing. Awareness would just be simply to run a page like brand awareness campaign, post in social media groups, in Facebook groups that are plant-based, health conscious, whatever. And just to give away and build some case studies, say, here, try this, can I have a review, how can I fix it, how can I make it better? Evaluation is pretty simple again, just run ads, tell people what's actually in the bar. That's pretty much the key to show what is in this, like having a lot of transparency around the product as well. Purchases directly through social media, website purchases, and then obviously as the business grows, through partners and distributors. And to retain, I put retain there as a point to, like I said before, to obtain those points of contact, email addresses, phone numbers, because not only is that a point of contact where we can talk to our customer base, a lot of people use the same emails for a lot of things, which can be used for advertising and retargeting, which is obviously how the business will grow using social media. Revenue streams, pretty simple. Direct business to consumer sales and sales through wholesaling to stores, outlets, and using distributors as well. It's pretty straightforward with a product like this. The cost structure, premium value proposition, create a product where the value is in the experience. Essentially, the way that I intend to provide value is when people eat the bar, they realize that they like the taste of it, not because of costs or how much it costs or whatever. It's more based on that people want to eat a Hazel Bar because it tastes good or they like the nutritional benefits of it. Some fixed costs would be manufacturing facility leases, wages. Of course, that's more for the future. But just the main cost right now would just be the cost of materials, utility costs, how much it costs to make the bars, the power involved in it, and just things like that. As a summary, the Hazel Bar intends to bridge the gap between health and comfort eating. The business will be registered as an LLC. and looks to address people within the health and wellness niche. Main partners would be suppliers, for packaging, raw material, and logistics partners. The initial marketing and advertising will be done through virtual platforms such as internet, social media, and like I said before, the main value in it is that it tastes good and that people want to eat it, not because of the cost or any other sort of variable. I believe that is it. Yeah, if there's any questions?
I got one. So with your Hazel Bar, like, will it just be, you just got, like, just running off the Hazel Bar, or will there be, like, multiple products with it, or are you just going with, like...
Yeah, so basically it's going to initially just be the Hazel Bar, but I think that it's a very scalable brand, and you could branch to a lot of things, and then, you know, you could almost have a whole array of products underneath, like maybe the Hazel name, so maybe you could change the business to, or you know, grow the business to Hazel Nutrition or something like that, and then you have a whole range of maybe bars. There could be I've made a pancake mix before. These are all things that can fall under the brand as well. But I think initially we'd start with just the Hazel Bar, and then and like I said, I think I mentioned it earlier on in the presentation. You know, there could be variants of it as well: low calorie, performance, higher protein, no carb, all that sort of thing.
So if you were to expand more different bars and flavors and stuff, would you have like a substitute for the hazelnut for people who are allergic?
Of course, and yeah, that's actually good you brought that up. I actually forgot to mention that. That was one of the key reasons why I added that that memo down the bottom about having variants. Because I understand not everyone can eat hazelnuts, not everyone can eat different products that are in there. Maybe people are allergic to some kind of fruits that might be involved in it. So of course, if there is any product or ingredient that is typically that there's a high amount of people that are allergic to, of course there will be alternatives.
Where and how will you let's say produce your product or manufacturing issue?
So right now, I've been just making them in my house as of right now. A lot of candy bars and things like that start like that way. Just someone that makes them for fun and or has them for personal use. As it grows, we would definitely need to look into hiring a facility that can manufacture them, store them, preserve them, all that kind of thing. But as of right now, it's just it would just be in-house. Anything else?
I would say...
I have a question.
I don't know where that's coming from, but go ahead.
Sorry. I don't know. Have you ever heard of the business called Quest? They're a very high protein snack business. They do pizzas and chips and cookies and candy bars and desserts like that. And they're actually up and coming at the moment. Their stuff is being sold at Kroger's and Sheetz and Walmart right now. How do you plan to deal with them? Or they're like starting to get it?
It's a good point. I have heard of Quest. Basically, their success to me just indicates there's a market for what I'm trying to do here. But also, like I said, this is going to be completely plant-based, and I'm not sure if Quest are plant-based or if they offer plant-based products. But for me, the whole business is going to be plant-based. I think I've touched on in class before. I follow a plant-based diet, so it's something that I feel passionately about. And so I think that there is a lot more, consumer trust with a brand that is 100% plant-based rather than a brand that offers plant-based things, because to me that looks just more as a monetary incentive, whereas a brand that is completely plant-based has more sort of reputation amongst the community that it is looking to serve. So I guess that's if that answers your question or not. Thank you.
All right.